Hi, I'm Elena. I'm going to be taking you through some mat Pilates today. You are not going to need any props, so that is the greatest thing about this workout right here. We can just utilize our body and our mat and everything that we have with us. And on top of that, I'm wearing sweatpants, so I'm going to take this as a super relaxed workout, no pressure. You take anything that you need during this time. This is your practice, so I invite you to rest. I invite you to pick it up. If you want to add ankle weights on, hand weights, whatever you want to do, love it. But this is your workout, so we're just going to get going. Okay. We're going to start towards the front of our mat, facing whatever the head of the mat is. We're going to find a nice cat-cow to start. So we're going to inhale, look up towards the ceiling, stretching that spine into extension. Exhale, we're going to push the mat away, scooping through your belly, rounding your navel towards your spine, finding that nice pubic bone towards your nose. And then inhale, you're going to look up towards the sky again. Exhale, you're going to tuck your tailbone under and scoop. Inhale, we look up. Exhale, we're going to scoop. Inhale one last time. Exhale, we're going to scoop. And then we're going to find that nice neutral spine, and we're just going to go into some scapula push-ups. So you're going to drop your shoulder blades to pull in towards one another, and then you're going to push the mat away, finding that nice protraction. So you're basically just doing a push-up from your shoulder girdle. So rather than bending your elbows or bringing your chest towards the ground, I want you to think that your chest only drops because you're allowing your shoulder blades to pull together in towards one another. And we're going to drop down, and then you're going to push the mat away. If you have any hyperextension, just be mindful of what your elbows are doing. I have to think a little softness. It's not a full bend, but they're not all the way straight. And squeeze. Going for another 2. And press. Last one. And push, keeping that neutral spine, so you have a gentle press through the mat, through your fingertips. You're gonna start to just tuck your pubic bone under and then release, flaring it back out. So you're gonna exhale to tuck it under, inhale to lengthen it back out, exhale to tuck. So we're basically just mobilizing that SI joint, that lower spine, scooping up and in and lengthen. And as you do this scoop up and in, can you think about really finding that exhale and pulling your core and your abs in towards the spine. So we're giving the belly and the organs a nice hug. And then we inhale, exhale, scoop. Inhale one last time. Exhale, scoop. Keeping that hug of your organs, just keeping that neutral spine. We're gonna lengthen the right arm out and the left leg. So opposite arm is leg. We're gonna go ahead and to our first bird dog. So you're gonna lift the arm and leg up, and then we're just gonna lower down towards the mat. We're gonna do that again. Inhale, you're gonna reach up and lower down. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale to lower. And really think about reaching your arm and your leg to opposite ends of the room. And you wanna try not to change the shape of your spine. So we don't wanna go into an extension, which looks kind of like this. So we're not working on height, we're working on length. And then we lower down, and then we squeeze up. Sometimes I like to flex my foot in the back, so for a couple, maybe do that. Inhale, exhale, squeeze. We're here for another 3. Try not to shift all the weight into that right knee, but keeping it nice and balanced over that left hand and right knee. Last one, we're gonna hold arm and leg up. Now from here, we're gonna scoop through the belly, round, pull your knee and nose together, finding that cat spine. Inhale, we're gonna lengthen back out and away. We're gonna do that again. Exhale, scoop, rounding up and in. Inhale, you're gonna lengthen out and away. Exhale, you're gonna scoop up and in. Inhale, length. Again, really feeling like arm and leg are getting pulled to opposite ends of the room as we reach. Exhale to squeeze and reach. Last 2. And lengthen. Last 1. And reach, you're gonna hold, we little pulse up to the sky, squeeze. Think about squeezing to the back of the shoulder and the back of that hamstring and glute on the left. Still pushing your left fingertips down and into the mat. Same thing with that right shin. You have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Taking your arm and leg back down to the mat. Sit into that child's pose. Take a nice little stretch for a moment. Breathe here.
Releasing any tension that you might feel, maybe rolling your wrists out. And just breathe into the thighs. We're gonna take one more big inhale. And then we're gonna roll through the spine to come back onto our hands and knees. And then we're gonna repeat everything to the other direction. So your left arm lengthens and your right leg goes out. Find that nice inhale to expand everything out and away, and then lower down. Inhale, we lengthen, and lower down. Really squeeze and reach into that glute, and lower. And you might notice you have one side that feels a little bit more wobbly or less balanced. And if that's the case, just honor where your body is and maybe minimize that range of motion. So maybe that means the leg or the arm doesn't go up so high. Maybe you even need to just keep the arm down and just focus on that leg. That's always an option. You're here for another 2. Maybe keeping that foot flexed for your last little bit. Last one, you're gonna hold it. From here, we're gonna squeeze elbow and knee together, rounding into that nice cat spine. Inhale, we're gonna lengthen out and away. So we exhale, scoop up and in, and lengthen back out. So again, you're finding that big rounded shape over. Inhale, lengthen. Think of letting your head go down towards that knee as you round up into your spine. Try not to wobble like me, scooping up and in, and lengthen, and scoop, and lengthen. Last one, and scoop, and lengthen. We hold and we pulse up and up. Squeeze, squeeze. Can you lift more from the hamstring to the glute? Lengthen the arm longer, sending lots of energy out through that elbow. Those fingertips for 3, for 2, and 1. Taking the arm and leg back down, and then we sit into that child's pose. Again, taking a nice big belly breath in and out. Last one. And then we're gonna just come onto our stomach. So you can lie all the way down and onto your belly. So it's like you're getting onto that surfboard. And then from here, we're gonna keep our hands directly underneath our shoulders. And you're gonna take that nice inhale, just find that nice cobra lift. So a little bit of that yoga move. We're gonna just press the mat away, still thinking of pulling your chest forward. Your head is lengthening out and away. And then we're gonna soften all the way down. We're gonna do that again, opening up into that upper mid back and release. Now the moment you feel your low back, can you think of pushing your pubic bone deeper into the mat? Maybe think of separating your feet. I personally like to have my feet separated. I feel that it gives my spine a little bit more openness. Doesn't make me use my lumbar spine so much, my low back. Last one. Still think of pressing the mat away, and then release. And then from here, you're gonna reach arms out and above the head. We're gonna go into our swimming variation, so a little bit more classical. We're gonna reach arm and leg straight up, so everything lifts together. Both arms, both legs lift, and then we're gonna soften all the way down. We're gonna do that again. Inhale, you're gonna lift. Exhale, you're gonna lower back down. Inhale, you're gonna lift, and lower back down. Inhale, we lift, and lower. So we're really trying to wake up that back chain, that posterior chain, all the way from your hamstrings and glutes. For another 2. And last one, we're gonna hold it up. If your legs staying up is too much, you just drop them down. We're gonna pull the elbows wide into cactus, reach the arms out and away, lower everything back down. We're gonna do that again. We add on. Inhale, we reach. We squeeze, pulling into cactus. We lengthen those arms out, and we lower down. We do that again. Inhale, lengthen. Try not to break your neck, so you're not looking straight forward now, but I like to keep my head in line with the spine, and then we lower and reach, and we squeeze up, pulling the elbows in, and lengthen back out, and down. Again, lots of energy through arms and legs, even if your feet stay down, and reach, and lower. We have 2 more. Exhale, we pull in, we reach, and lengthen. Last one. We should definitely keep feeling that back, and in, and out, and down. Now on your next one, we're gonna hold it. I know I said one last one. We're gonna hold now. We're gonna pull the arms in and reach out, and in, and out. I want you to squeeze into your lats, pulling the bottom of the serratus all the way down the spine. Shoulders are away from the ears. Gaze is slightly forward and out for 3. Exhale, squeeze 2. Try not to change your shape in the chest. Last and final one. We're gonna reach those arms nice and long, and we're gonna swim them up and down. Swim and swim and swim. Inhale and exhale. Can you lift a little taller? Inhale and exhale for 3, 2, and 1. Whew. Okay, bend your knees into your butt. Rock your knees from left to right. That one like never gets easier. It's always a challenge, especially if you're hunched over and at your desk or on your phone like I am. I know we all are a little guilty of that. And then let's go ahead and sit ourselves back into that child's pose. So push yourself straight up and back so we can just find that nice release. Just inhaling and exhaling here. And then we're gonna come onto our forearm. So you can face towards me. So we kind of all face the same direction. Ooh, hopefully a little bit more warm. Okay, so from here, you're gonna keep your forearm onto the mat and your left hand or right, whatever is on top, is gonna come to your waist. From here, we're just gonna do a nice modified plank. So you're just gonna lift your side waist, pushing up from that bottom shoulder, and then we're gonna release back down. And then we do that again. And then we lift up, and then we lower down. So one thing about me and my practice is I love to layer. So I'm never gonna just stop with one move. I love to keep it going. And then we release down. So just know that as we start to add on, if you're like, that's just not happening for my body today, that's okay. That's the whole point in the layer, is you can stay where you are and you can stick with that one until you get stronger to do the next one. Or maybe you're just like, I don't wanna go that hard today. That's also fine. Now on your next one, you're gonna start to lengthen and lift that top leg out. And then we're gonna pull back down. You're just gonna barely tap the hip and then you're gonna squeeze and reach out and pull back down. If you wanna start to take that arm up towards the ceiling that's on top, feel free to do so. If you tense up through your neck, I oftentimes to look down towards my bottom arm. That feels a little bit more comfortable for my neck, my cervical spine. And as you do this, I want you to continue to squeeze into that bottom glute. So although your bottom shoulder is really helping stabilize you, you're also getting a lot of that help from that glute on that bottom side. And think about having resistance through the top leg. So I love to add a booty band on with this sometimes. So if you want to do that, you can always do so for another 2. And then on your next one, you're gonna hold it. We're gonna reach arm and leg out and away. So finding this oppositional reach. We're gonna send our butt back as we pull the elbow and knee in, reaching out and away, and then lower down. Keep the arm where it is. We lengthen up, we squeeze elbow and knee in, we reach out, we lower down. If you can keep that top leg up the whole time, great. Otherwise, you can pull arm and leg in, and then extend, and then we lower down, and we reach, squeeze, extend, and down, and reach, squeeze, extend, and down. You have 3, up, in, out, and down, and 2, in, out, and down. Last one, up, and then just stay with the in and out. So we're gonna stay on that arm and just squeeze through, in and out, stabilizing through that bottom glute. Squeeze and breathe for 4. Exhale, squeeze 3, keeping that lift through that bottom sideways. 2. Last one, we hold arm and leg out, we pulse up, and up, and up, and up. You have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Can you hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and then drop it down. Okay, bend your knees into mermaid. So that's just basically bringing that bottom leg forward, left knee's behind you. We're gonna take that opposite arm or that outside arm, that top arm that we just had, pulling it towards that top knee, and we're gonna stretch out and away. And then you should get that nice oblique reach. And then we're gonna drop down, find that mermaid stretch in the opposite direction. And then we're gonna press down to that bottom arm, swing yourself back up and over. And then just finding that nice dance through the spine as we go over and up. Finding this windmill action, really finding that nice relaxing moment, coming back to that breath if you've lost it. And reach. Good. And then let's just take that top arm and we're gonna swim it down to the mat so we can find a little bit of a twist here. And then press the arms straight out and then drop those elbows down. So you're basically just pushing into a twisted mermaid. And then we're gonna drop down and we twist. Keeping that twist, you're just opening and closing the chest. And reach, and down. Last one, press, and down, and then untwist, reaching the arm back up, and reaching all the way over, And then coming back, and then you're just gonna swing those feet around. We're gonna go to the other side. So left forearm is gonna come down now, or right, whatever you decided to do. Hand can be on the waist to start, where you have that nice clamshell-like position or modified plank. And we're gonna lift up, and we're gonna lower down. And we push to lift up, and lower down. So I want you to think about pushing the shoulder down the back. You're sliding the bottom of the shoulder blade towards that bottom of the hip. So we're finding one long line from that bottom oblique. Inhale, exhale, squeeze and breathe, pulling the navel up and into your spine. Great thing about Pilates and doing side work is we're still getting in the core without letting it be just crunching, which as you get to know me, I don't love to crunch. Of course we do it because it's great for you, but I love to work the core in other ways. Now let's go ahead and extend that top leg out, and then you can lower back down, and then we're gonna extend that leg out and down. Now you can maybe just keep it extended like I am, or if you want, you can bend the knee back in and then extend it straight back out and away, and pull back in and extend. Otherwise you could keep it out. It just adds a little bit more weight for your bottom hip to lift, and we're making one straight line from that hip and the shoulder all the way down through your toes. Squeeze, maybe even reach the arm up towards the ceiling for 3. We reach and squeeze for 2. On your next one, you're gonna hold, reaching the arm above the head. We're gonna pull elbow and knee together. We're reaching out, we lower everything down. We lift up, we squeeze, elbow and knee in, letting your butt go back. Reach, and then we lower down. Lift and squeeze. Remember, if one variation feels best for you, you just take the last one. Otherwise, we're gonna continue to add on. Inhale, squeeze and lift, and reach. Try to keep that leg in line with the hip as you lower and lift for 4. Reach, sending energy out and away. Squeeze and breathe. In and out. We have 2. Lift, in and out. Last one. In and out. Now on your next one, can you hold it? And you're just gonna continue to pull elbow and knee together. Inhale to reach, exhale, exhale. Whew, you should definitely feel that bottom glute, squeeze. Keeping arm and leg reaching long for 3, 2. Last one we hold, we little pulse up and up and up. You have 4, 3, 2. Now hold, you just have 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Oh, I swear my second side is always worse. All right, let's go into that mermaid. We reach that top arm over towards that bottom knee. Find that inhale, and then we're gonna go ahead and find that nice release over. Press the mat away, swinging your body up and over. And then we're gonna reach and lengthen. And press and reach over. And then let's go ahead and go into that twisted mermaid. So take that top arm, bring it down to the mat. We're gonna look in between those fingertips. Take that nice inhale, looking forward, press the mat away, and then dropping down, and then press. The more you think of pushing through the back of the arms, the more you're gonna engage your triceps. It's not a crazy engagement, but it just helps you keep that nice active energy, so we're not just passively moving through our exercise. Everything in Pilates wants to stay nice and active the entire time. For another 2, and reach. Last one, and reach. And then lower down, take the arm, reach it back up, untwist and stretch over. And then we can come all the way back onto our sits bones, or onto our sits bones, so we haven't been here yet. I'm gonna face the front of my mat, so I'm gonna look out the window, so I have something to look at. And then from here, just keep your feet anchored down. If you wanna make like a nice triangular pose, I like to grab the back of my thighs, and let's just find that cat-cow again seated. So scoop, and then inhale, open up your spine, looking up. Exhale, scoop. And when you look up, think less about letting your head go, but more opening your chest up towards the ceiling. And then you're gonna scoop down and back. So you're pulling your pubic bone in between your thighs, and then you let it go down towards the ground. You open up and scoop. Inhale, open up. Exhale, scoop. Last one. Exhale, scoop and hold. So you're gonna keep your gaze forward. So we don't have to look towards our pubic bone. Find this nice rounded C curve from the crown of your head towards your pubic bone, and reach your arms forward and towards the mirror. And you're starting to roll bone by bone all the way down. If you need to keep a hold of your thighs, do so. Otherwise, you reach those arms long, find that oppositional reach. And then we're gonna lengthen our head on the mat, reach the arms over the head, take an inhale. Maybe for a few, just find that stretch through your spine. If it feels good to stretch your back away from the mat, okay, do so. And then exhale, tuck your chin into your chest or to round yourself up. Maybe you grab the back of your thighs or you just use your core to lengthen all the way up. Sitting up nice and tall, we do that again. Exhale, scoop your navel down and back, rolling through your spine. Taking that inhale, we reach the arms up and overhead. Maybe find the stretch away from the mat. Exhale, close the ribs, pulling your navel down, tucking your chin into your chest. Ooh, and then find that nice C curve and you lift all the way up. Good, we're gonna do that again. Scooping down, so you're basically doing a full sit up. And then reach those arms overhead. Now maybe this time keep your back onto the mat the whole time. Exhale, you're gonna curl up and reach into that nice extended spine. Exhale, scoop. Reaching the arms overhead. And exhale, scoop. Last one. Inhale, we exhale to scoop. Reach the arms overhead. And then slide your feet a little bit closer to your butt and sweep the hands down towards your hips. So we're getting ready for our bridging. So I'm gonna have you tuck your pelvis, roll it bone by bone all the way up, and then roll bone by bone all the way down. Sometimes I like to take my hands to my hips or even to my ribs and just find how you can really bone by bone lift up. So when you keep your hands on your hips, you can find when your pelvis wants to relax or release, and you just want to find that nice engagement. So pulling your pubic bone up first as you roll it away from the mat, and then you're coming all the way up to balance on your shoulders, keeping the ribs knitting in towards that midline, and then rolling all the way down. If you feel like you want a little bit more of a balance challenge, arms can reach up and over your chest. Otherwise, you can just keep your hands down and onto the mat. We lift and we lower, and just think about widening your collarbones against your chest. Eyes can be open or closed. Just make sure you're squeezing into your glutes. You're not pushing into your joints. We're not pushing into the low back. But we're finding this big extension to squeeze, activating into the hamstrings and the booty. And then we're rolling all the way down. Last and final one. Exhale, we're gonna scoop. We're gonna lift all the way up and we're gonna hold. From here, I'm gonna have you just tap your butt straight down and up and down and up. So we're doing a hinge bridge. Notice if you're shifting the weight into the heels, can you evenly push into the toes and the heels so the whole foot is planted down? We squeeze and lift. Inhale. Exhale for 5. Squeeze 4. Keeping that engagement of the glutes for 3. And 2. We're going to hold it up on 1. Little pulses up and up and up and up. Pushing from the heels and the toes. You have 4 and 3 and 2. You hold. Can we lift the right heel? Lower it down. And left. Lower it down. And right. So as we alternate from right to left, I want you to think of squishing something underneath your heels. So whether it's like a blueberry or like a grape, I want you to find this big squish down and into the mat. And squish, so you're really finding that active engagement for 3. And squeeze 2. And 1. Just evening yourself off to both sides. And then we lift both heels and down with both. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Since we don't have any weight on our hips, I want you to find this endurance for the back of your legs. Check in on the ribs. Check in on the chest and the neck. Are we gripping? Are we finding length? For 3. Squeeze 2. Hold those heels up. We tap the butt down and up. Down and up. Down and squeeze. You have 4 and 3. 2. Last one. We hold little pulses up and up and up and up. You have 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lowering bone by bone all the way through your spine. Okay, bring your hands down. Give your spine a little rock from left to right. Notice if there's any pops. There's always a lot of pops for me. And then let's go ahead and squeeze your ankles, toes, and knees together. So notice I bring my legs all the way glued. So a little bit different engagement here. Hands are gonna stay down on the mat, pushing your triceps and palms down. You're gonna lift your hips and pull your right leg into tabletop. Then we're gonna lower down with the hips and the right foot. Then we're gonna lift the left leg up. So you're prepping for your single leg bridge. Legs come all the way back, glued together, and squeeze and lift. They go down. Exhale, squeeze and lift. Down, squeeze and lift. And we breathe and squeeze. Down and up. So we're prepping for single leg bridging. Another 2. On your next one, let's bring the right leg back in tabletop. Now from here, you're gonna reach the right leg out and in. Out and in. So you're doing a static hold, squeeze, reach and squeeze. You're here for 3 and 2. Now on your next one, you lengthen the leg and the hip down. The leg goes long, squeeze it back up. We reach the leg and pelvis long, squeeze it back up. So it's a single leg bridge with that knee extension, squeeze and reach and squeeze and reach and squeeze. You have 3. Squeeze and 2. Last one, can you hold it up? Extend the leg up to the sky, lower it down, kick it up. Down, kick it up. You're holding that single leg bridge through that left side. Try not to drop down, keeping both hips nice and even. Maybe you flex on the way down, point on the way up. 4, kick, 3, 2. Last one, hold the leg up to the sky. We little pulse up and up and up and up. You have 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold the leg where it is. Lower your pelvis all the way down. From here, extend your left leg out. Keep your right leg up to the sky. Hands are going to come behind your head. Little change up. We're going to curl up our head, neck, and chest, and then lower down. Curl up looking towards your right thigh, and lower down. And curl up, and lower. If you want a little bit more of a challenge, hover your left leg. Squeeze and breathe. So your opposite leg that was just moving is going to hover away from the mat. We're going into our first little ab series, crunching up and down for 3, 2, last and final one. You're going to hold. From here, I'm going to have you switch the legs. Switch. So you should find a deeper stretch on that left side, that side that was really working in that single leg bridge. Switch, switch, switch. If you want a deeper hamstring stretch, flex the feet. Switch, switch, switch. You have 5. Exhale, 4, 3, 2. Last one, right leg is up to the sky. Reach the arms out to the side. Lower your head, squeeze, reach your fingertips up to your toes. Lower down. So your arms are an airplane. We squeeze them up and down. Squeeze up and down. Left leg is still in a hover. Squeeze and breathe for 3. Squeeze and breathe for 2. Last one, hold it up. We pulse up to the toes. Squeeze, squeeze. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend your knees in. Release down. Let your head go from left to right. And then we do all of that to the other side. So feet come down, hands come down. Take an inhale. Exhale, we lift into that single leg bridge with the left leg hovered. Reach it out and in. So left leg just goes out and in. Find that stretch, pull it in. And stretch, pull it in. Then we'll add that single leg, reach in 3 with that hip lower. And 2. Now on your next one, lower the hip, lower the leg, squeeze it up into tabletop. We lower down, squeeze it up. So it's like there's a string attached to your kneecap and it's pulling back towards your chest, but it stops right over your hip as you lift. Inhale. Exhale, squeeze. Push to that right side. Exhale, squeeze. Find that deep engagement through that right glute for 3. Exhale, squeeze. 2. Last one, hold it up. Extend the leg to the sky. Lower it down, kick it up. Down, kick it up. Keep thinking about the ribs and the pelvis staying lifted. Everything is really musculature. Maybe we flex the foot, squeeze. Down, up. If flexing is too much for your body, don't worry about it. You have 4, 3, 2. Hold it up. Little pulses up through the right. Pulse. Pulse. Left leg is reaching higher by pulsing up through the right glute. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower all the way down. Woo, extend that. Right leg out, hands behind the head. Left leg stays hovered. Keeping the leg as long as you can. We curl up and down and up and down and curl. Keep sending energy through the right leg, that right hamstring we just engaged. Keep sending energy through the back of that leg. Now maybe you hover that leg as you curl up and down and squeeze and breathe. Squeeze and breathe. Inhale and exhale. You have 4, 3, 2. You hold it up. Now we switch the legs. Switch, switch, switch. Head can always go down. Maybe you flex, flex, squeeze, squeeze. Can you lift your shoulder blades all the way from the mat? Maybe you need to grab the back of your ankles, your calves, your thighs, whatever helps you stay lifted. For 4, 3, keep that exhale. 2, last one, left leg goes up, right leg is still in the hover. Reach the arms out to a T. We lower, curl up, reach those arms up towards the toe. Inhale, exhale, curl up, squeeze. Still sending energy through the back of the hamstrings. We reach and squeeze. That leg can always drop down. Squeeze, you have 2. Squeeze, last one. We hold little pulses up and up and up. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pull your knees in. Woo. Okay, let's rock those knees. Circle them out. Do what you need to do. Ooh, I'm definitely feeling that heat in the body. Yes, I am. All right, let's go into some inversion work. So I love a nice inversion. We basically just prepped from that bridging. But let's go ahead and just find those knees coming back into your chest and pull them all the way in so you can find a ball shape. So I want you to really squeeze the knees in as best as you can. Now curl your chin and chest up. So we're making this really tight ball. You're gonna scoop through your belly, rock onto the shoulders, and then balance onto your sits bones as you come up. So this is rolling like a ball. I like to just tell my classes, think of you like you're like a little kid and you're squeezing up and you're gonna try not to touch the mat because the mat's lava. And then we're gonna roll back and then we're gonna squeeze up. Good. And then we're gonna roll back and squeeze up. Now, if you've ever done any yoga, we're about to go into candlestick, or in Pilates, we like to call it more of jackknife. So I like to take it from a rolling position, then we'll do it more controlled for another 2. Massaging that spine out, last one. As you go back, kick your legs to the sky, pull your knees in, and balance at the top. We do that again. Roll back, kick your legs up to the sky, bend your knees, and roll. We do that again. Kick up, squeeze the knees in, and roll. You're here for another 3. Squeeze and breathe. Really find that active engagement as you push the mat down through the hands. 2, reach. Ooh, a little wobbly. Last one. And reach, and then you can set your toes down to the mat. Okay, this is where we're gonna get a little bit of a challenge. You can stay with that rolling like a ball if that helps you lift the legs up. Next one, we're gonna take those arms, reach them forward. Toes are gonna stay straight out from here. Inhale. Exhale, scoop through your belly. You're gonna round all the way down. Take the hands down to the mat, lift your legs up as your head goes down. Now, scoop through your core, reach your legs up to the sky. You're gonna roll bone by bone down. Lengthen those legs. Exhale, scoop and lift. So you're gonna go into jackknife and then reach into that leg lift and squeeze, reach, and then lower down. Press the hands into the mat. That's gonna help you lift. And then we lower down. Exhale, squeeze up and lift, and down. Last one, squeeze up and lift, and down, and then release the legs onto the mat. Whew. Okay, we're gonna stay with this more advanced movement for a second. At any point, if you need to take it down a notch, rolling like a ball is always a great option. We're gonna go into teaser, or you can always do a V-sit. So, squeeze your legs together, reach those arms overhead. Take a big inhale. However your body needs to get up, use momentum, do whatever you have to do. We're gonna reach all the way into a big V-sit, reaching your hands and feet together. Now from here, I want you to find more control on the way down. So if you use momentum, totally fine on the way up. That's gonna help you over time. But control that descent as we go down. So if that means you need to bend your knees and that helps you, and you need to keep the knees bent, feel free to do so. Reaching the arms and legs out at the same time. Exhale, we squeeze right back into that V-sit. Or in this case, you can also bend your knees. That's also another option. And then you can roll down, reach your legs long, and we drop down. Arms go overhead. Exhale, we squeeze, V-sit up. And then we're gonna lower down and reach overhead. Last one, we squeeze up and we're gonna hold. Hands can always grab the back of your thighs, knees can always bend, or we're gonna balance here and hold. Keep that inhale and exhale. Maybe if you wanna find little circles with your legs squeezing together, do so. You have 4, 3, 2, reverse the circle, squeeze, try not to round your chest. Keep opening up for 4, 3, or just hold your V-sit 2, and 1. Bend your knees back into your body, sit crisscross applesauce, and open your chest. Find that nice cat-cow again. Inhale and exhale, scooping. Okay, let's come back onto your hands and knees. So we're just kind of coming back to how we started our class or our session today. And then from here, we're gonna find a nice down dog. So let's go ahead and stretch those hamstrings. Push into the mat, send your pelvis up to the sky, pedal those feet from left to right, dropping one foot and then the other. Maybe child's pose feels better for you today. Just finding that nice stretch to the back of your legs for another 3, 2, and then if you can, lift both heels. We're gonna roll through your spine and take yourself all the way out and into your plank position. From here, we're just gonna hold our plank for 5 and 4, 3, 2. On your 1, you're gonna start to lift your right leg up, lower it down, then left leg up, lower it down. So we're just gonna finish with this plank. This is the last little bit we're gonna do. So we're gonna push, utilize that upper body strength, squeeze and breathe. Reach for 3 and 2. Last one, send your pelvis up to the sky or down dog. Take an inhale, scoop through your belly, rolling all the way back out. You're gonna do that again, lift your legs, squeeze and squeeze. So you're going into that control front squeeze for 3. Exhale, squeeze for 2. Last and final one. And reach your pelvis up to the sky. And then scooping through your belly, drop those knees, keep your modified plank. We're gonna go into push-ups. We push up and down and squeeze and push. Knees can stay down. If you're feeling like you want that big challenge to find your knees hovering away, do so for 3, 2. We hold it up, lift the knees again. We go into that control front squeeze and squeeze and squeeze. You have 3, 2, 1. Drop those knees, push-ups again. Down, squeeze up, down, squeeze up, down, squeeze up. You're almost there. Breathe. Exhale up for 2. Last one. Lift up. We lift one leg. We lift the other leg. We're here for 4. Breathe. 3. You're almost there. Push this last little bit. 2 and 1. We go ahead. We drop both knees. Bring those toes together, knees wide. Sit into that nice child's pose. Stretching everything out. Breathe. Taking that inhale and exhale again. And then you're gonna roll bone by bone all the way up. And then from here, you can stay seated back and onto your heels. And then you're gonna clasp your hands behind your low back. Pull your hands towards your toes, your fingertips towards your toes, excuse me. And you're gonna open up your chest, find that big chest expansion. And then let's go ahead and keep your hands where they are, but you're gonna reach them to the left side of your hip and drop your right ear down. So I'll just face you so you can kind of see, giving yourself a nice neck stretch, and then maybe looking down and looking up and down, up and down. And then you're just gonna switch, so your hands are gonna come to the other side. So hands over to the right, left ear down towards your left shoulder, looking down and up and down, up, last one. And then reaching your hands back. Reach those hands up and overhead, and you can pull everything in towards heart center, and you are all done. Very nice work today. I hope to see you again next time.